Beginning of 2017, I fell pregnant. And at this time, my position within the private healthcare company had grown, and I was managing clinics down in Surrey, all the way up to Manchester. And with me being pregnant and with me thinking a little bit outside the box after pregnancy, what I was going to do, I didn't want to be travelling that far and having such a young baby at home. So I wanted something local. Unfortunately, the company that I worked for couldn't offer me that. They couldn't keep me in one base. They couldn't offer me part-time because the nature of the role needed full-time work. I'll be honest, I couldn't even pronounce the name of the company when I first saw it. So that attracted me even more because I thought, I've never heard of this. What's this all about? And as I read about it, it explained that it was about dialysis, it was about clinic management, patient management, staffing management. They really focused on a healthy work-life balance, which is exactly what I was looking for. And that really struck a chord with me. So I completed my application. Before I'd even started and got to that point, I was building relationships, and I thought that was quite important because it's quite nice to put a face to a name, isn't it, when you're working with people day in, day out. And then around 2 to 3 months after my interview, I finally moved into that position and started within the clinic. When I was in post in Diaverum, I was based, as I've said, in Kings Norton. I've got this young baby at home, so this work-life balance was really important to me. And they were very good and very supportive, and we worked through hours, not only to suit me, but to suit the business needs as well. They were very understanding of what I needed. So we worked in a way that supported the business, but I could commit to at the same time. And over time that evolved. They were quite open to change as the business changed. They were willing to look at my hours. There was a time that I requested to go part-time, dropping from 37.5 to 30 hours a week. The reason I like working in healthcare is simply because it's a really fulfilling role. If I go back to when I was based in one specific clinic, I was meeting these patients regularly, 3 times a week for 4 to 5 hours a session. So you'd build that rapport with each patient individually. You'd learn about them, their social setting, you'd learn about their family and their friends, and you'd quite often meet them if they were coming in to visit whilst the patient was on dialysis. They'd come to you for help, and it's nice to feel that they can put you in that position where they feel they can come to you for help. You're approachable. They know that you'll get results. In my other roles in private healthcare, I'd meet these patients once every 6 months when they needed it or when they wanted a treatment. Me personally, I like that interaction with patients. In my role now as project management, I get to think about the plans before the patients have even got to the clinic. We can think about, right, how do we arrange the seating so patients can engage with each other? Have they all got access to a TV? Have we got enough mobility aids to make sure that they can be supported? Are we considering the fact that they want to be independent? Have we got the right resources to allow them to be independent to as much as their body will allow whilst they're in clinic? And it's nice to have a bit of everything involved in that. So I've gone from the direct patient engagement to the behind the scenes, putting everything into place for them to have that experience when they're in our clinics. The good thing about Diaverum is they're willing to take that chance. For example, me, I had absolutely no clinical background whatsoever. I'm not a nurse. I haven't got an NMC number. And that was completely different to the norm when I joined Diaverum. So they provided me with all the training that I needed. They gave me a really, really strong clinical deputy who could support my learning needs. They brought in people from other functions who could support my role whilst I was in my supernumerary period and ongoing after that. But for anybody, whether they're clinical or non-clinical, it is a really good move to take because you can start in your nursing career and move into that management area. The clinical and the management, they do go hand in hand, so it's a really good opportunity. And Diaverum are really good at promoting from within as well. They like succession planning. They like to engage with staff members from staff nurses up to senior staff nurses, up to deputy, up to clinic manager. And there's opportunities beyond that as well, because there's other functions, there's integration nurses. So as part of the project management team, we always have an integration period where we work with new trusts or new clinics that we've taken over. And there's always opportunity for our existing staff to join integration teams where they can support new clinics and take that role into a managerial level. But it did worry me when I started, because I was the only non-clinical person. Every other person within the company was a clinical. So I always felt I had to work that little bit harder. But because I had such a good support network, I felt I could do it. I've been there
Yeah.
6 years. I'll quite happily stay here till I'm retired. I don't think I've mentioned in what we spoke about, but they are good at supporting your training as well. I mean, since I've been with Diaverum, um, I've done my COSH course with the health and safety executive as a separate entity to Diaverum. It's completely it wasn't an in-house training course. I've done my NEBOSH general certificate. I've just done my NEBOSH in construction, and Diaverum are really good, and they've funded all of that for me. You know, they're really keen on your personal journeys and that you're succeeding, because if you're happy in your workplace, you're more likely to stay. I mean, personally, I didn't know anything about dialysis. I didn't even know what dialysis was. So it's a sense of achievement in yourself,
It
and
is.
that's a really key thing. If you feel supported, you feel trusted, you feel part of a team, straight away that's half the battle. And I can honestly say, I never get up of a morning and think, oh God, I've got to go to work today. I get up, and most of the time I look forward to coming to work. Don't get me wrong, some days are a struggle, but you take the rough with the smooth, and you've always got that network to lean on.